So the noise in the background you can hear is the Bruce Highway. We're at the BP at Morayfield. This is the beginning of the trip off to TrekOZ Beach. We'll get up there, set it up. Got a high tide at about 10:30, 11 o'clock, which isn't ideal for the travel up. We're going to go in from the Rainbow Beach end. That means we don't have very far to travel. We're camping at zone 2. It's been raining really heavily for the past few weeks, so it should be like a highway up there anyway. Just pulled up here at Gardener's Fishery. How you going? Is Drew in?
Yeah, just around.
How you going?
Good, mate. How are you?
Long time no see.
Yeah.
Been a while.
Mate, yeah, it has.
So anything biting down the road?
Mate, we've had some terrible weather lately. However, as always, TrekOZ a pretty special beach. Even though it cops a fair bit of weather, like you're gonna get fish down there nearly always. You know, boys have been worming down there this week. It hasn't been too bad. There has been a bit of sea on, right? So it's going to be a low tide affair.
Yeah, well, the low tide's in the morning and the night, so
yeah,
not a bad time. I thought when I saw that.
Definitely.
A little bit of rain this week, but that should be alright. Got some worms for me?
Certainly do. Yeah, want to go get them? Here we go. I'll give you them.
Alright, mate. Well, thank you very much.
No worries. Cool.
Appreciate that.
Easy as.
See you later.
Yeah.
We've just hit freshwater track. This is up the Rainbow Beach end of TrekOZ Beach. There's two ways in. There's this way, freshwater track, and then there's at Tawatton there's a barge. The barge takes you across the river there at the Noosa River, puts you onto Noosa North Shore, and then you drive up the beach. Because of all the flooding we had last week, there's a lot of hazards on the beach, there's a lot of erosion on the beach. And we've got a high tide in the middle of the day, which is almost now. And it would just be difficult to get to the campgrounds driving north on the beach at high tide. Go down to the end of freshwater here, get to the beach, turn right, and the campgrounds aren't that far down. Just grabbing the wading bag. Found a spot here. It's quite a good gutter. We're about an hour away from low tide, so it's still running out. And there's a gutter that goes along here and goes out probably about 50 metres, 60 metres up that way. So there's a good entry exit. It's a nice deep gutter, probably 3 foot right at my feet. And there's a really shallow bank. You could walk on it. It's just the other side of it, probably less than 20 metres out. Perfect for me. I reckon I'll get a feed here. So I'll rig up one of my rods and see if we can't find a whiting, a dart or a tarwhine. Primarily a whiting, but the reality is there's way more dart and tarwhine than whiting around at the moment. Quick chat about the rig I'm using. I normally bring up 10 foot, 11 foot rods to go whiting fishing, but today I bought my 9 foot rod. This rod's my everything rod. So use it on boats, use it in surf, use it in estuaries, just for everything. And I haven't used it on video in the surf, and because the gutters are close, a 9 foot rod's all you need, so you don't need to run out and buy another rod if you've only got a shorter rod. So I brought it up just to fish with it and show you. So I'm using a 9 foot rod. Don't ask me the brand because it doesn't have one. I made it myself years and years and years ago. It's a composite blank, and I think Schneider runners, they're good runners. I paid top dollar for runners, so it come up really good. Love the action on it. The reel I'm using is just a 55C, I think. Yeah, 55C LV with 6 pound moi moi. Now it's a 6 pound mono. You don't need to get moi moi. Schneider is probably my favourite. If you're in any tackle shop, you'll find Schneider. Platypus is also good. So just a 6 pound mono. No particular leader, I've just cut my mono and I've turned it around with the swivel on, and that's exactly what I'm using. So there's no fluorocarbon or anything on this. Using a 4-ball sinker, a small swivel, and about 1 metre of trace. The reason I need 1 metre of trace, I normally like the longest trace I can handle in any predicament, so whether it be surf or boat or whatever. If I can fish with a longer trace, I do. It's a really rough, we've had a really poor week of weather, and the surf's really churned up, it's brown, there's debris in it, so I don't want a really long trace today. I fear that I'll probably be getting more tangles out than anything else, so I kept trace fairly short. It's probably just under 1 metre long. And then the hook is just a number 4 short shank hook with a sandworm, a beachworm on it, or a bit of a beachworm. I fill the hook, plus up the line a little bit, and a little bit dangled over. The worms are actually dead. There's a few live worms left in there, but live or dead in this sort of weather and water. The fish, generally speaking, are hungry. I should have a good session. That's what I'm hoping. So that's the gear. You don't need to get fancier than that. I've thrown it really close, probably only 10-15 metres out. Just try it because it's quite a deep gutter. See if there's anything sitting in my feet. Whiting a different sort of fish to catch. They really like you to just do nothing with the rod. So don't reel, don't wind, don't lift your rod. Just leave your rod as still as you can leave it. Let them find the bait, let them sort themselves out. When they run, lift your rod, and that strikes the fish. Yeah, plenty of mullet jumping right at my feet. Only a little mullet too. They're probably only, if they're normal sea mullet, they're only babies. They're only 6-7 inches long. So the idea is to try this gutter for about 20 minutes. Fish all the different spots in the gutter, so right in close. Then cast out to the outer bank and let it come off the outer bank. In the middle, then on the points where it goes back out to the ocean, the little cutting that runs through. A lot of people get caught in rips. Well, that would be the rip in this scenario. Once I've fished all those locations and had no entertainment at all, I'll move to the next gutter. I didn't bring a rod holder today. Normally when I'm whiting fishing, I'll stick it in a rod holder and just let it sit here. The LV reels, they are more difficult to use than spinners. No ifs, buts and maybes for the first 2 hours. After 2 hours, after you've used an LV for 2 hours, they become the easiest thing you'll ever use, and you'll probably never use a spinner again in the surf. My first touch. And I'm on. Distinct advantage with the LV and the rod, you can drop it in the sand, do what you need to do with your fish. When you pick it up, you can wash it off in salt water and get home, clean it out, I mean just hose it, and it's ready to go for the next one. There are dart here. This is only a small one, so he'll be released. So to cast an LV, first leave the line. The sinker and the line have to be a comfortable length to cast. Comfortable length for me is about 2 metres, as you can see there. So 2 metres of line, not touching the floor, up plenty high enough. That'll get a good pendulum going. Back of the LV, this little tag here, that button helps the LV to turn. Turning it 180 degrees to the rod, and then you want to hold the line with your finger as you turn the rod to cast. So that's the line being held by my finger. My right hand or dominant hand is on the rod, and the rod's ready to take back over your shoulder. And then aim for 10 o'clock and you get a good cast. Casting an Elvie. It'll take you a couple of goes, but once you get used to it, it is very, very easy to do. And I'm on. This is a better fish, this one. I only got 6 pound mono, so I'm letting it tire itself out a little bit before I bring it in. So there you go. It's well worth considering an all-round rod, just a 9-foot either fiberglass composite. Much better dart. Nice soft action in the rod, equivalent to that of about a 4-wrap, if you understand what that is. A little LV reel. The results speak for themselves. I've only been here a few minutes and I've had one small dart, and just a much better dart. Great fun in the surf. Well, that's it. A bit of a beginner's guide to LV fishing on the beach. Hope you enjoyed it, got something out of it. Make sure you hit that like button for me, subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.